Hi, it's Gina with your Note of the Week. This week I'm going to talk about the status field on your item master. So let's get started. I'm going to start by going into items, and I am going to select an item. I'll select this golf cap. Now the status field is over here on the right. It defaults to active every time you build an item, which just means it's an item you're actively selling, purchasing, or receiving. Your other choices are discontinued and inactive. If you select discontinued, you can set some controls that anytime this item is purchased, received, or sold, your associates will get warned that it's discontinued, but they'll still be able to purchase, sell, or receive the item. So let me show you about those controls. I'm going to save the item, and I'm going to go to Setup, Purchasing, Control. I'm going to click on the Activity tab, and here under Purchase Orders, just enable the switch that says Discontinued Item Warning, and then for receivings, you'll enable the switch Discontinued Item Warning, and then save your changes. To receive the warning at point of sale, Setup, Point of Sale, Stores. And once that loads, I'll just select a store, and then I'll click on the Lines tab, and you'll enable all the boxes here under Show Discontinued Item Warnings for sale lines, return lines, layaways, orders, back orders, special orders, and if you're using drop ships, be sure to enable that one as well. And then save your changes. So here's what happens at point of sale. I'll just go ahead and log into a ticket. And once I get into the ticket, I will select the golf cap and click OK. And here it is. Here's the warning. But your sales associates can just click on Yes and sell the item anyway. The same is true for your orders, special orders, back orders, and layaways. The behavior is also fairly similar in purchasing and receiving. So I'll just go to Receiving, and let's start a receiving. And I'll log into my batch 1 and auto assign a number. I'm going to cancel out of selecting a PO. I'll select an item and then go to lines. And now I'll go to lookup, select the golf cap, and so I get the warning. Now again, just like in point of sale, your buyer or your receiving person can just click on Yes and order or receive the item anyway. Inactive is a little bit different. I'm going to go back to Inventory and Items and select my golf cap. If I change the status to inactive, at point of sale, salespeople can still sell the item, but they cannot place the item on an order, back order, layaway, or special order. So I'm going to save my changes so you can see the behavior. Now, there are no controls. The controls are already hard-coded in the software, so simply setting an item inactive is going to do all the work for you. So let's go to Touchscreen. I'll log back into a point-of-sale document. And once that loads, I will do a lookup, find the golf cap, and again, just like the discontinued item warning, if the item's inactive, my sales associate can still answer yes and sell the item. Now, I mentioned earlier, they will not be able to do that with an order, back order, layaway, or special order. So I'm going to go to Order Functions, and I'm going to turn this line into an order line, and I'll select the golf cap again, and this is what happens. They get a warning, but they cannot bypass the warning. Counterpoint will just stop the associate from placing the item on an order, a layaway, a back order, or a special order. Now the same is going to be true in purchasing and receiving. So let me go to Purchasing, and I'll go back to Receiving, and we'll start another receiver in my batch. So let me auto assign a number. I'm not going to receive against a PO. I'll select a vendor, and then go to Lines, and now I'm going to select the golf cap. So this is also going to happen in purchasing. So purchasing and receiving, an inactive item will stop the associate from purchasing or receiving the item. Now, if you do set an item to inactive or discontinued, and then you want to change it back to active, you can do that anytime you like. Just simply return to the item master, find the item that you marked as inactive or discontinued, and then just change the flag back to active. It's that simple. The last thing I want to talk about is this status date. This field is simply informational. So for example, I want to know what day I flagged the item as discontinued. Once the flag is set, I can just enter a date on the status date line, and that way I know on May the 2nd, 2018, I flagged the item as discontinued. So that's your note of the week. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk with you again next week. Thanks for joining me for this session of Note of the Week. Hope to see you again soon. We would love to hear from you. If you would like to submit a question for Note of the Week, email training@cksystem.com. And on the subject line, type Note of the Week. If you would like to schedule training time or request a free training catalog, call me at 888-476-7911, extension 3. Talk to you next week. Bye.